Hey, Baker, thanks, man. You looked frustrated coming off the field yesterday. Is that why we didn't hear from you?
Yeah, I was frustrated, among other things. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I've never dodged any questions or hid away from that. So it's not about that. Just frustrated, removed emotions and all that from it. Just decided it was best to wait.
I think that's what surprised us all, Baker, is that you pride yourself on being that guy and being accountable and stepping forward.
Not one part of that's not being accountable. I'd be the first to tell you I played like shit. So it's not about accountable, and I don't owe you guys any of that. I owe that to my teammates, and I talk to them, so that's what matters. So
I don't disagree with you. What frustrated you the most, though, in terms of the way you played yesterday?
For me, decision making was great. It was the lack of execution. I think there were some plays that just I'm not going to make every throw. You know, nobody does that, but very very frustrated with how where I was going with the ball compared to how the results were. That's very very frustrating. I've always been an accurate guy, and that was not the case yesterday, and that's extremely frustrating to me when I feel like I let my teammates down. Preparation week, everything leading up to the game was great. Felt like I was in a good position to be able to play and play at a high level, and I didn't. So that's a very frustrating thing.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Scott Petrick.
Hey, Baker, how much do you attribute the injuries to the inaccuracy you just talked
about? I mean, there's some that between weather and that, but it's not something that I'm going to say, hey, this is why. I made a lot of throws yesterday, and then I didn't make a lot of throws yesterday. And so there's give and take, but I expect myself to be better. And that's how I've always been.
Does it make it, I don't know, worse or more frustrating when you do see yourself make good throws within the game, but then miss others that you feel like you should make?
I think so. I think it's some of the harder throws I can make, and then some of the easy ones that I've done time and time again that just don't happen. That's very frustrating.
Thanks, Scott. Next up is Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Baker, when you said you were after the game, you were frustrated among other things. What did you mean?
Oh, just frustrated about. I mean, we won the game, so that's the most important part. Frustrated with my execution, everything. Just trying to internalize. That's how I handle things, and obviously my body. So it's the same thing over and over again. There's no reason to keep repeating it.
Okay, and I know you always want to be out there whenever you can. Do you think it was the wisest thing for you to finish that game? I mean, late third quarter, we saw you limping around pretty badly.
Yeah, I mean, there was one shot that I took that kind of re-aggravated some things, but at that point we were in 4-minute mode and just getting guys lined up and operationally and being able to do that. So, yeah.
Thank you, Nate. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot.
Baker, this has obviously been a rough season for you, just in a lot of ways, in terms of injuries and for you and for your teammates and everybody around you. So, just do you feel like in some ways, I mean, are you on the same page with the way the game is being called for you, with the way that Kevin Stefanski is handling, what you can and can't do, maybe given your injuries? Are you cool with Kevin, or do you guys need to kind of put your heads together and get on the same page in some ways?
We're going to take a lovely vacation during bye week together, maybe visit Maldives, spend a lot of time. No, we're fine. No, I think we watched the film as an offense, watched the whole game together, talked about all the things that are hurting us, all the things that, it was one of those meetings where you just own up to your mistakes, own up to the plays where we have to be better. And penalties is a big thing for us. Obviously, I have to take care of the ball. That's very obvious, but penalties, we can't keep putting ourselves in bad positions. We improved in the red zone yesterday. We were 2 for 2, which was what I had been stressing on. We were a little bit better on third down, but still there were some critical errors and some penalties on third downs that hurt us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Next up, Jake Trotter.
Baker, what did you make of some of the booing there in the second half from the fans?
Those are probably the same fans that won't be quiet while we're on offense and trying to operate. So don't really care.
Despite the up and downness of this season for you guys, you have a huge opportunity here these next 2 games against the Ravens to meet all the goals you guys had for, before the season started. So, what do you guys need to do? And again, how big is this swing with with Baltimore coming up?
This is a huge game for us because it's the next one and it's a division opponent. Big picture wise, everybody wants to act like the world's falling. No, we haven't played to our potential, and we know that more than anybody because we sit there and watch the film and we know what we're supposed to do. And we have 6 wins, and the Ravens are leading the division with 7. So we know what's at stake. We know what we need to do, and that's how we're going to handle it this week.
Thanks, Jake. We'll go to Matt Fontana.
Yeah, Baker, last week you said this is probably the most banged up you've ever been in your career. Are you in a worse place now than you were even last week?
No, woke up, sun's shining, getting better, giving treatment, be ready to roll.
And obviously with dealing with everything, is there one thing that's bothering you more than others? Is it the heel more than the knee, more than the shoulder, or it's all just kind of the same at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's all just kind of there.
Thank you, Matt. We'll go to Daryl Ryder for our next question.
Yeah, Baker, 5 of the last 7 starts for you, the offense has scored scored 17 or fewer points. How do you guys get this offense jump started? I think that's, aside from the injuries that you're dealing with, I think that's one of the more surprising things this season is the offense hasn't been nearly as explosive on the scoreboard as many thought it would be. So what do you see in there?
It's about putting it all together. When we do our job and we do it well, we're a really good team. That takes converting on third downs, finishing in the red zone, and then not hurting yourselves in the middle of drives to where you have to overcome long yardage situations. And so that's being consistent within every single drive and, having a singular focus on the task at hand within those drives and knowing that, those critical downs that we have to convert on and we have to do well. And, late in the game yesterday, some of those third down runs we did, and that's why we were able to finish that game out. We definitely emphasized that in the film room today, watching it and making sure the guys know these critical situations. We just have to be better. So I think it's a lot of things, but we just have to put it all together. And we've shown flashes. And like I said, we improved in the red zone, but we have to put it all together.
With your lower body being banged up, the knees and the foot there, you talked earlier a little bit about like the mechanics in that. Can you get that better here? Down the stretch? I mean, do you have opportunities to get your body right? I mean, the shoulder is what it is, but the lower body is pretty important when it comes to your throwing mechanics. So can you get that right?
Yeah, I'll be able to do that. And I think that's one of the more frustrating things that I've had is, I was able to take off one time yesterday, twice, and make a couple plays. But I think in the past weeks, I was not able to do that. I think those plays are there to be made by me. So got to keep improving and, keep improving until Sunday. And then I have a week to rest. And that's the important part. So I got to handle business this week.
Thank you, Daryl. Jeff Shadell, we'll go to you.
Hey, Baker, a lot of times some players, you didn't say this today, but guys will say 10 guys are doing it right, but one player makes a mistake and then everything falls apart. Is that realistic to get 11 guys to do everything right, or does you just have to make up for when some guy isn't in the right spot?
Football is the ultimate team game. It really is. It does truly take all 11 guys doing their job and achieving that. Is it going to be perfect? No. And there's going to be plays where some guys mess up, but when you have players like we do that make up for it, make guys miss in the hole and all that, and can make up for it. But it's all about trying to do your 1/11th when you're out there on the field, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. And that's the most important part. If you try and worry about doing too much, then bad things happen. So do your job, try and do it at a high level and do it quickly, and good things happen. And so that's where we're at. And that's why we keep, saying we got to just be better on these critical downs. And that's, little details, knowing your job, knowing where to line up, all the minute things that might think it's not a big deal, that does come out to be a big deal when you talk about having 11 different people trying to achieve the same goal.
Thanks, Jeff. We have JC on decks. We'll take 2 more. Marla right now, or Scott Petrick. Marla.
Yeah, Baker, when you're talking about, you took a hit yesterday that kind of aggravated, do you get a sense during the games that this is not you because, you can't roll out, it seems like you are limited, or does it wear down during the game maybe when just over getting hit and those kind of things?
I mean, there's definitely ebbs and flows of the game. But not every game is going to be perfect. And for the most part, yesterday it felt great. There's just like those one awkward little landings and things like that aggravate it, but no major setbacks by any means. And so that's why, I'm gonna be positive about moving forward with everything that I've been doing within the week for treatment and rehab and whatnot. So looking forward to another great week and being able to play a division opponent.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Marla. Final one, Scott Petrick.
Baker, do you expect to be able to be healthy enough to play Sunday?
I do. I do expect to be in better condition than I have in the past weeks. And, like I just said, no major setbacks by any means. You're going to be sore on a Monday. That's just the nature of this game. But feel good about our plan of attack and everybody being on the same page and where we're at right now. So I feel positive about everything that we're doing.
And then, you talk so much about winning, and I know how important that is to you. Is it a mixed message at all that you walk straight off without celebrating on the field after the game?
I mean, to our guys, no. To you guys, maybe. It depends on how you want to take it. You're going to write your stories regardless. I mean, my guys know that all I care about is winning, but I'm going to be frustrated if I do stuff to make it harder on us. And I did yesterday, and that's just flat out where it was. But I'm never going to take winning for granted. That's something that's very hard to do in this league. And it's hadn't been a very common thing around here for a long time. So I'm just frustrated with how I played. And that's how I've always been. They know I'm going to come back and attack this week. And that's how I've always been.